Hi everyone, it's Ben Suborga with ME Action, and I'm here with Julia Miele, who's our newest member of ME Action team. I'm so excited to introduce you and our new executive director. So Julia, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, and in this Zoom world, where are you right now calling from?
I am in Santa Monica, California,
Oh,
and I
nice.
think I was in your
Yes.
neck of the woods over the last week visiting colleges with my
Yeah.
daughter.
Madison, Wisconsin is doing much better in April, so very glad for that. Well,
It was
thank you for
beautiful.
joining me. I thought we would would love to introduce you to the Emmy Action community, get to let them get to know you a little more. So I thought I'd ask you a few questions about kind of what you brings you to Emmy Action. And so I would love to know, looking back on your different nonprofit career and personal life, what experiences will you draw from the most as you begin your journey with Emmy Action?
Thank you. Yes, I think the first experience that I'll draw from quite a bit is my experience with a founder transition. At the Gabriella Foundation, I transitioned to founder of 15 years and worked very closely with her, the staff, the board to ensure that programming moved forward uninterrupted and without any issues, that communications to the community were very transparent and consistent, and that everybody was a part of determining the next steps for the organization, as typically strategic plans happen at this time, and we're about ready to start one here at ME Action. I think one key aspect I learned about founder transitions is the importance of preserving and extending the vision of the founder, and also acknowledging the incredible work everyone in the community has done to achieve that vision, with the new executive director providing support, new ideas, and perhaps strategies to help the organization move to its next stage in growth and development. So I think that'll hopefully be very helpful. I think another area of experience I bring is strategic planning. At the
Mm,
Gabriella Foundation and YWCA, I worked with both organizations, community, volunteers, staff, board members, stakeholders, in helping the organization plan a strategic plan by
mm,
determining and evaluating where the organization was currently sitting, where it wanted to go 30 feet back, 3 to 5 years into the future, how it's going to get there in terms of what are the tactical activities that would put into place to reach those goals, and how that journey would be funded. I think what's wonderful about strategic plans is that you can bring together the entire organizational community to really identify the organization's strengths, what the areas of development are, what opportunities exist that take advantage of those strengths, but also mitigate any areas of weaknesses, what threats exist in the community, in the world that the organization may or may not have control over. And then once the strategic plan's done, the last thing it does is sit in a drawer. It's something that is constantly looked at and monitored as the environment changes constantly. And so the organization and its entire community are constantly looking at it, um, basically announcing what progress has been made and making course corrections along the way to ensure that the plan is actually achieved, which is exciting as you see it move forward. So another area is fundraising. Fundraising is a huge part of strategic planning, and any successful strategic plan has a fundraising strategy that ensures that those goals can be funded. Throughout my nonprofit career, I have focused on ensuring that organizations have a diversified fundraising stream, which means you're looking at a lot of different areas to get funding: individuals, grants from government, foundations, crowdfunding, planned giving, events, to ensure that the organization doesn't rely on one funding stream or two. Because as we all know, funding can be really, the organization can actually manage multiple streams, the more it can manage those ebbs and flows in fundraising, which can be a drag, but it's really just a part of the way things move forward. So I'm excited to put that into place after the plan has been set, so that we know what we need to move forward. And I think the last thing, oh, sorry, did you want to say something?
No, I love that. I love geeking out over nonprofit stuff, having seen like our, different nonprofits, trying to really work to progress and grow forward and seeing the growth really of Emmy Action. I'm so excited for you to bring those skills, particularly into to help Emmy Action grow in the place we're at now. And I wonder if you could also speak to, so Emmy Action focused on health advocacy advocacy for people with ME. What's really been your experience with public health and health advocacy? How do you think about those things, and what drew you to ME Action's unique focus on that?
Absolutely. Yes. So for around 9 years, I worked with the HIV/AIDS movement and with organizations, two different organizations in the US and overseas. And what they focused on was advocacy for AIDS prevention, testing, treatment, and care. And what was exciting to me was to learn that ME Action was inspired by and has learned a lot from the HIV/AIDS movement. It's been a big part of my life. My brother died early on from complications from AIDS at the age of 24. And it was at a time when very little was known about the virus. There was no treatment, at least the treatment that was out there made him even sicker. And there was such a huge stigma attached to the virus and just HIV/AIDS overall within the community and within my family. It was a heart-wrenching time and extremely difficult. And when I think about what people with ME face every day, it really does bring me back to those times and makes me want to jump on board again and to start fighting because I see the parallels so closely and there's just still such a lack of understanding and focus on ME and what it really is and what people really need. So I'm really happy to be a part of this fight again and look forward to what's to come.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you. Yeah, I know that means a lot to all of us who in the community who are people living with the disease, caregivers, and families impacted. To see the devastation that these health inequities cause in our communities, and fighting for change. To see people really excited to bring that and disrupt where we kind of are, and fight for a new reality, a new vision for a better world. It's really exciting. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
that
really
commitment.
excited. Yes, thank you. And I just it just makes me feel so terrible to be in that spot. And
Yeah,
anyway, I'm just so happy to help. I'm so happy to help.
thank you. So you mentioned earlier about working with the Gabriella Foundation, which I believe is focused on transforming lives through the power of dance. So can you talk a little bit more about how do you see the connection between arts and ME Actions programs, and what do you think of kind of that side of things? I'd love to hear some more of your
Oh,
thoughts.
sure, absolutely. So, in all of the work I've done in HIV/AIDS, cancer prevention, and with the Gabriella Foundation, art in its many forms was used to discover and to heal. At the Gabriella Foundation, for example, we provided dance education to low-resourced youth as an opportunity to help them explore self-exploration, if that makes sense, and to
Mm,
also focus on the technical mastery of a dance form, all of this instilling with them the confidence and teamwork to kind of become their best selves. I think with students who have learning differences, dance also provided them an opportunity to learn in a different way and to get through the day a little easier with dance. It made it easier for them and also their family and their teachers. When you move into the health arena in the area of ME, HIV/AIDS, and cancer, I think art can be used as a form of healing in that it promotes self-expression and creativity. ME Action's Millions Missing campaign, Postcards to Doctors, Bedfest, and Writing for Our Lives are sort of tremendous examples of how art can be used to advocate, storytell, explore creativity, and I see all of that as being very healing. So
yeah.
I'm glad I've had that recent experience. Working at Gabriella was my first time in the arts, but I was a dancer in my youth, so it's kind of made me
Mm,
who I am today. And
fun.
I love how ME Action has incorporated how it does.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, no, just the other day, I mean, for myself, like mostly working on kind of like advocacy and activism stuff, but like finding our work. The other day, I was just going back to like a poem, actually, a poet from Bedfest, and some of their lines and words, and I couldn't get through it without like just playing it and crying again. But like the power,
Yes.
I think the way that the art can continue can and has to like power a social movement for change. You can't be fighting without like enlivening our spirits, giving us hope
Yes.
for the future. So I love that kind of like eye and knowledge to like what the arts bring to this conversation, because it is not just a thing that's segmented over here. Like our creativity needs to flow kind of through everything we do. So I love
Yes,
that
well, and
perspective.
Emmy actually has done such an amazing job of incorporating art into its work. It's really phenomenal. I applaud you.
Thanks, Julia. So, this is, I think for those listening, for I know for myself, I'm sure for you, like it's been a long year. All the stuff that's like happened in our society and world, um, and I think all of us having a sense of like what could be new and next, and how to turning the corner to next thing. So I'd love to know, just in general, what is we, we all know the challenges, we all know the things that are the many obstacles we have to face and fight. But what really excites you the most about supporting Emmy Action going to into its next stage of growth and development? What are you kind of like most energized by and excited by?
Absolutely. I think what most excites me is working with a spirited, inspiring, and dedicated group of volunteers, stakeholders, staff, and board members that together we're really going to help Emmy Action be all that it can be in advocacy and impact. I think as we prepare to start the strategic planning process, I'm very excited to learn from the Emmy community whose members I think are going to play a very important role in sort of planning our strategic pathway forward and ultimately moving us to a world where people with ME will have compassionate and effective care. The momentum I see is tremendous, and I really want to be a part of it. I want to jump on board
Yeah.
and run with it and work with everyone in that process. So that to me is just so exciting. Very, very looking forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, this has been so fun, Julia. We'll have to do it again, and I know like this
Yes.
will be only the first of many times. The community will hear from you, and we're going to be having lots of other conversations going on. But thank you for sharing just from your heart personally and what you've experienced in your journey. And I'm so excited for what comes next. And I just have to say to the community, thank you all for supporting us, for getting us to this point as we think about like growing and strategic planning and envisioning what comes next. I'm just so grateful for all the individuals who have brought us to this point, who've sacrificed, who've given, who've contributed their time and knowledge and perspective that have made this movement, this organization, what it is. We couldn't have done it with each of you. And my mind right now is going through a mental list of like all these different names of people. So I know it's we face many challenges, but I'm thank you for sticking with us, for fighting for your lives, and for fighting with us. And we are grateful for each and every one of you.
And I just want to say that the announcement of me joining the organization has just gone out, and I've already heard from so many people, and I'm looking forward
Hmm.
to responding and getting to know as many people as I can and just learning from
Oh,
them.
that's
So
great.
thank you so much for this
Cool.
opportunity.
Thank you, Julia. Have a great day. Take
Okay,
care.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.